This is the Mighty Mighty Chuck. What is this again? This is the Mighty Mighty Chuck channel. Anyways, did you know, and you probably did because you're a smart person, you're a brilliant person, I can see it in your eyes. You're brilliant. You are so brilliant. Anyway, the sun orbits around the center of the Milky Way 483,000 miles per hour. The Earth revolves around the sun at a speed of about 18.5 miles a second. Water evaporates. It forms clouds. It rains back to Earth. Then it evaporates again. It's a cycle. It's a loop. It's a loop. It's a loop, I tell you. It's a loop. So, what's the point? No point. No. Anyway, the point is, maybe things are a loop that we don't perceive as a loop. Maybe things are a loop that we don't necessarily perceive as a loop. If you go far enough into the future, it's possible to travel what we consider time. If you travel so far into the future, would you be in the past? If you travel so far into the past, would you be in the future? Is it such a loop that if you traveled around, you'd be right back where you started? Okay, maybe you believe in reincarnation, maybe you don't. Let's say, for example, that there is such a thing as reincarnation. Can you be born both in the past? Can you be born in the future? Can you be born in the past? Can you be born in the future? Can you be reborn? Is your soul does your soul also travel in a cycle? You're somewhere, you're born, you live your life, you die, you go somewhere, you're born, you live your life, and so on. And where do you go between lives? I mean, if there's such a thing as reincarnation, where do you go between lives? It's interesting because people that do the studies on this, that have investigated it, they go into a primitive society and they ask children that seem to remember past lives, and they may remember between lives. They may. It may be all a hoax, who knows. But anyway, in the primitive societies, the people are like, well, I died, and I went up into a tree, and I enjoyed just sitting in the tree and looking about, or I sat down by a river, and I just enjoyed looking about the river. Simple, simplistic. You may call it primitive, simple, simplistic. But now, they do the studies in a more technological society. It's different. Well, I was on this escalator, or I was on this beam of light, or I was in this elevator, and I went up, up, up. And it was like I was in a room, and in that room, I reviewed my life. It was discussed what I did right and what I did wrong. And then they go on to describe the afterlife as though they were in some kind of boarding school or something. It's all about education. It's all about becoming a better person. It's all about becoming a higher being. We're in primitive societies. Well, I went and I sat up in a tree. And I sat next to a river. And at some point I saw a woman walk by, and she caught my attention. And that woman became my mother. In the more technological societies, it is like, well, we reviewed the situation. We was in like this fancy machine. We spun around, we projected what a life might be like in this person, and we projected what a life might be like as this person. And what I might learn and what I might grow from my experience as this person or that person. And it was decided I would be born as that person. Because it's all about growth. Technological society, primitive society. But just say, you might believe this, you might not believe this. It doesn't really matter. This is just talk. It's just discussion. It's just thoughts. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what I believe. That's just what if. So there is a difference between the way primitive societies review the between lies, and there's a difference in the way the technological societies review lies, perceive lies, perceive between lies, perceive the point of lies. But isn't it really, just like in this world, in this physical world, you have different communities of souls with different agendas, with different thoughts, with different beliefs. Doesn't it figure that on the other side, that the afterlife wouldn't be the same for everybody? That the communities that you go back to kind of reflect the communities in the world that you're living in. And the world that you're living in may be kind of a reflection of the world that you're living in is kind of a reflection of the afterlife that you came from. So that, if you're in a more primitive society, the community of souls that you are with, and primitive is probably a bad word, because they may actually be the higher level that keeps things simple instead of making everything complicated. They may be the more advanced group of souls. But the point is it's probably not the same for everybody. If, there is reincarnation, if there is, between lives, where you go, what you do between lives, it's probably not the same for everybody. It probably depends on, the community of souls that you tend to travel with, that you tend to be with, that you tend to share beliefs with. And just because you believe something on this side doesn't make it true. Just because you believe something on the other side doesn't necessarily make it true. Anyway, just a thought, just something to think about. You might not like it, you may not agree with it. Sorry. Sorry. That's all. Thanks for listening, watching.